Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, we're going to talk about Telcoin and game-changing money, as this project has a lot of layers. So we're going to be figuratively and one literal example. So I'm going to explain it in this video so you don't want to miss it. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Only use risk capital. I cannot emphasize that enough. And thank you to those who continue to support the channel. So Telcoin has been showing some strength over the last month, up 27.07%. And we're sitting at 0.006 and some change. So good to see that. Over the 7 day, we're up 16.59%. And then a little bit of green on the daily, up 0.97%. But the trading volume is starting to increase what we like to see, 3.1 million. So that's trending upward in a $566 million market cap. And I've said before, this is a $1 billion project. We've seen it last bull run being a $1 billion market cap and more. So I definitely think we're going to be able to achieve that. I believe last bull run, want to say we got around 6 billion. Don't quote me on that, but I know we that's where we kind of got last bull run. But definitely like a lot of legs and room to run for this project. But I kind of want to get into what I want to talk about today, kind of the premise of this, and is Telcoin and game changing money. And the first layer of this is Telcoin on base. And what that does is just gets more eyes for Telcoin simply being on base. And it was a smart move by Paul Nooner and team. And if we go here, I'm going to play this short clip. But kind of in the middle of this, if we kind of speed it up a bit, they talk about this point here, trade millions of coins, and then there's Telcoin right there in the middle. So, and that's great advertisement and great eyes. But then it gets better than this, because what's ended up happening is millions of assets, one Coinbase app. So now anything that was on the DEX for base will be integrated into the Coinbase app. So slowly but surely, Telcoin will be added. So what they're doing right now is they are kind of having a all-in-one app. So the coins that were on the DEX or the base app will be transferred over. So they're doing it on a weekly basis and daily basis, and they're adding more tokens until all of them that were on the DEX are tradable on one app in Coinbase, which is an absolute game changer. And why is that important? The reason why it's important is, imagine Telcoin trending and being traded on Coinbase, which has 108 million users. This would be the actual Coinbase app. Again, this is kind of the way that we're going. So no more of the waiting for the listing, which is kind of cool how Coinbase is doing it, as long as if you were on base. But you get the point. More and more eyes. So imagine Telcoin is trending on different exchanges, but it's trending on Coinbase, and people are wondering, what is this asset? They're going to see it. They're going to, because there's different trending categories within the Coinbase app. There's always the trending coins. And when it goes on that rip, that's a lot of eyes and a lot of people that'll see Telcoin. So again, could be potentially an opportunity for game changing money in a figuratively sense, but this is definitely cool to see. Well, it could be figuratively and literally, I guess, if you think about it. If you have some nice gains during this bull run. And then the next concept is the U.S. Mexican remittances. So this is a big piece, and the reason why it's a big piece is because there's a lot of exchanges as far as remittances between the U.S. and Mexico. Like, it's really big business, and imagine Telcoin getting a sliver of that business. If Telcoin gets a sliver of that business, it's essentially game over. And if we go up here and look, the Telcoin Association put this tweet out, says Telex just leveled up with Uniswap v4. New pools equal deeper liquidity. right? So you can add liquidity with the Mexican pesos and USDC. So you can earn fees and rewards by creating an LP pair. But kind of what's the significance of this? People are going to be trading in and out of the Mexican peso and USDC all the time. What's going to happen is that's going to create more pressure on the gas token, which is TEL. So imagine that at full scale. And you're saying, okay, I somewhat see where you're going, but how deep down the rabbit hole are you getting? So essentially, down the rabbit hole is okay. So how much is the remittances between the United States and Mexico? So 62.5 billion in remittances. That was in 2024, and that's going to just continue to increase over time. So even if we get 1% of that volume as far as that consistent remittances, that's everything. Imagine even like 5 cent or 10 cent. Again, those remittances flowing through the Telcoin app, that's more pressure on the gas token. So you have to be, with Telcoin, you have to kind of be a forward thinker. Now, are there additional steps that Telcoin leadership team would need to do to kind of get this at full scale? Absolutely, because we all want, there's a lot of people in the community, win moon, but you have to be a forward thinker because there's a lot of deep layers in which there could be a lot of revenue going through Tailcoin because it's a forward thinking type of project. Yep, and then if you go over to Uniswap, as you can see, this is kind of where you can create your liquidity pair. Obviously, you would need to use like the Telcoin app to get your Mexican pesos and have some USDC on Polygon. Pair that together, and this is kind of how it's looking right now. But it is nice to see kind of in and out of trades right now on the app, which is cool. I'm sorry, on Uniswap, which is cool. So it's being used and slowly but surely kind of ramping up. But providing liquidity not only gives you rewards, but it helps with the easy use of the trading on the Tailcoin app between these two pairings, if that makes sense. But again, there's going to be a lot of buy pressure slowly but surely because remember they just opened up that border from Mexico, uh, as Paul Nooner just said. So this could be an absolute game changer. So definitely excited about that. And then, so remember the conversation about the gaming company. And so the gaming company is a disruptor. So what that is Telcoin invested roughly 10 million kind of during a seed phrase within the gaming company to help them go get up and running. So you have to be a forward thinker, someone like Paul Nooner, who is not his first rodeo, but he understands kind of the impact of this partnership because what they're trying to achieve is AI cloud gaming. So that's what they're trying to achieve, right? And what is the gaming company going to need? Well, they're going to need access to the Telcoin network so they can run their app or their cloud gaming type services. So here's a cool thing about this. So the cool thing about this is, let me scroll down. So it says here, as you can see, there was a 10 million seed phrase, but there's over 500,000 people on the wait list for the gaming company already. So 500,000 users are on the wait list that want to use this AI gaming cloud, right? And they want to rival or disrupt NVIDIA. I said, okay, now I understand where this is going and why this investment is important. Okay, so you're probably wondering, okay, so what is the significance of this value? So NVIDIA also operates a cloud gaming service called GeForce Now. The cloud gaming market is expanding rapidly with revenue projected to be 11.1 billion in 2025 and nearly 64 billion by 2030. So again, you have a AI cloud gaming system on Telcoin network, soon to be. Now, I don't know when they are going to have access. I know they announced the partnership like a few months ago, but could it be the end of 2025? Can it be somewhere in 2026? I don't know, but this usage, again, there's going to be a lot of usage just chewing up Telcoin, and a lot of people needing it to, whether they're a telecom provider or whether they're a merchant like the gaming company, they're going to need access to some Telcoin. Uh, and this is just going to get kind of crazy with that the volume picking up on Telcoin and the important uses of it. So imagine AI cloud gaming and other different merchants, and also the 50 M&Os that have to scoop up a bag of Telcoin to do what they need to do on the Telcoin network. They're going to be validating the network and all that, but it's going to be game over. So this, again, literally, that is literally game changing money, because we're talking about a gaming company. That's what I was trying to get at. And that was kind of the premise of the video, but also game changing money in the sense that there's value in the Telcoin token. We're not seeing that explosive growth right now, but again, this has a lot of legs to be something special. And then coupled with the Telcoin Association having those talks with Storm, that's going to kind of ramp up that marketing here soon. So it seems like everything is gonna tie into a nice little bow between now and the end of the year, where like all these different product releases start rolling out, Telcoin Bank rolling out, all that stuff, and the M&Os, the 50 M&Os towards the end of the year. So it's a lot to be excited about. So I hope you enjoyed this video as we talked about Telcoin and game changing money and what that's going to look like this year and beyond. I want to thank you for listening to this video, and thanks for stopping by.